Warning, the video that you're about to watch will be filled with nerdy guitar stuff. Guitar lingo, guitar words, things and stuff. If you're still here, I'm assuming you're a guitar nerd or you just want to learn more about guitars, which is cool for both. The first guitar that I am restringing is a Harley Benton. I believe it's a SC450 dual humbucker guitar, and it was a little dirty. I let it go for pretty much the entire winter and played it, recorded on it, didn't change the strings, didn't really clean it, forgot to put the lemon oil on the fretboard, so I decided to give it a little TLC. I have a show coming up with Pat Rennie at Power Plant Live for Maryland Day Festival. Tons of other bands are going to be there. It's going to be a very good time. Bring the kids, bring the whole family. It's going to be wonderful. So I did wipe down the entire guitar. I wiped down the fretboard with some lemon oil. One bottle of lemon oil will probably last you your entire life unless you have 600 guitars. But getting the fretboard just dressed and ready to go. Some of that moisture goes out of the fretboard and you can have the fretboard shrink, and then your frets will stick out at the ends and kind of cut your fingers, and you have to file them down, which is a pain in the butt. So it's better to just keep your fretboard dressed. Cool thing about this guitar, it's got coil taps, so you can turn these humbuckers into single coils and get a ton of extra tones and stuff out of it. It kind of was one of those things that came with the guitar that I didn't really need. I don't really plan on using that much, but it's available there. And these Harley Benton guitars are very heavy. They're solid guitars. This is the heaviest guitar that I have by far. When I hand this to other players or to people who don't even play guitar, they often have that little dip when you grab onto something. It's you almost drop it because they're so surprised at how heavy this guitar actually is. The only modification that I've done to this guitar is different tuning pegs. I just wanted something that was more sturdy. So I just upgraded those. I don't think that they're anything really expensive or high class, just better than what the stock ones that were on there. They kept coming out of tune and I was tired of dealing with it, so I changed it over. And that's me getting the last string on there and realizing that I've got too much string, so I've got to wind it like 600,000 times, and thumbs up, we're done with that one. The next one is by a company named Firefly. They make extremely inexpensive and affordable guitars that look great and are of high quality. Again, this is another one that I just changed the tuning pegs. I just wanted something that was better than what was originally on there, but the humbuckers that are on here are great. And this one, it being a semi-hollow body, it sings. It's amazing. The only complaint, if you can take a look at the first fret before I get to it, that fretboard is a dark wood, but I feel like the wood was dyed. So whenever I go to clean it, there's always a little bit of extra that comes off of the rag that kind of stains it a little bit. And it's not just from the dirt. You can see that it's super dry, but this fretboard tends to dry out more than any of my other fretboards. So I have to make sure that I keep up with it. I mean, you can see instantly as soon as you put the lemon oil on it, it just soaks it up, and I have to go back with a second thing. I even noticed that the frets on this were just really dull and lifeless. So I took some, you probably saw it earlier, when I took some steel wool and just went over the frets real quick just to make sure that the frets had a little bit of shine to them. But it looks so much cleaner. I'm surprised that I let it go this long. The great thing about Firefly guitars is they look just like what they're trying to replicate. This is like a Gibson 335 or 335. I don't know what people call them. The 335, 335. But it looks just like that at maybe a quarter of the price. And with minor upgrades, I'm sure if you put different pickups in this, some of the electronics are probably a little bit cheaper, but I've kept it pretty much stock except for those tuning pegs, and this thing has been amazing. I keep this one in half step down and just use it to swap out for a couple, like 2 or 3 songs. But I sometimes write in half step down. So here's me getting to the last string on this one, I believe. And again, realizing that I have way too much string and that I needed to do that. So thanks for watching this.